say about the transparency with the current administration?
Well, there is none. There is none. And, I guess you're supposed to have a press conference on Thursday, but the questions will all be softballs. I've watched the interviews. I like George Stephanopoulos, but I watched those couple of interviews, and it was a joke. It was just like a softball. Anybody could answer them, and yet he almost couldn't answer them, to be honest with you, so you know that. So it'll be interesting. I hear the questions are all vetted. You don't have the same people in there. I mean, you might have the same people, but it's a whole different set of questions. It's ridiculous, the questions that are asked. What did you have for dinner? What kind of ice cream do you have? As he walks out, they never talk to me that way, and that's okay. I had a lot of press conferences. I enjoyed press conferences because you get the word out. It's the only way to get an honest word out, because the press is really not a free press. The press is not a free press in our country. Okay, so the way you get the press out is with press conferences. Now, he doesn't need them because the press protects him totally. I mean, anybody else, if that were me that hasn't had a press conference for as long, for the number of, with all the things going on, especially at the border, but really you have things as big as the border. We're not going to be energy independent within 3 months. I mean, think of that. I worked so hard. First time ever, we were energy independent. We didn't need Russia. We didn't need the Middle East. We didn't need anybody. We were energy independent.
This undoes all of that.
Now it's being thrown away. And all those countries, by the way, including Ukraine, where his son has an interest, big interest, are going to make a fortune. They're going to make a fortune. And look at the way gasoline prices are going up at the pump. Harris, look at the gasoline prices, how they're going up at the pump.
And again, these are all things that if you had a traditional news conference a few weeks ago, we wouldn't be playing catch up on this. I don't know that you can get all of this done on Thursday. And, when he was asked about the president of the United States there, we see video on the screen, Joe Biden, he was asked about going to the border, because I want to toggle back just a little bit, and the gag order that's on all of us there. When he was asked whether or not he would go, he said, at some point, you've been to the border, Mr. Trump, and you know that when you go, or the First Lady goes, as she did, Melania Trump, when you go to the border, you bring a different level of attention to whatever is going on down there. Democrats are not calling this a crisis, yet they sent in FEMA and HHS. So I want to talk with you about the transparency specifically with this issue. Should border agents be able to talk with us openly? I mean, our Griff Jenkins had to really get in there and follow some, because we can't even do ride-alongs right now. What are your thoughts about what likely is going on behind the scenes that we can't see? That's a lot of questions, so I'll just let you go at it.
Well, I let the Border Patrol speak, as you know. I spoke a lot. I went to the border, and I went to the border also to learn, because as an example, I was going to build a precast concrete wall with nothing, you can't see through it, and I went with the Border Patrol, and they had a specific wall. They wanted it steel, they wanted concrete insets, they wanted rebar, they wanted different things, and they needed vision. They had to have great vision through the wall. I wouldn't have built the wall we had. I would have built a different wall, and frankly, it would have been less expensive, and it would have gone up in many ways easier, but it wouldn't have been as good. This one has everything, all the bells and whistles, all of the tremendous security, wiring. It's all wired for various forms of security and drones and everything you could possibly have. So I learned, from being there. If I didn't talk to them, I would have had something that would not have worked like this one is working. So, you have to go there. This is a major problem, and it shows a level of dishonesty. So they'll say something like, we did the vaccine, not Trump. Okay. And we have to respond to that. Then they'll say the same thing here. Oh, it was Trump's fault. And we had record good numbers. And this is not 20 years, as I said before. This is many, many years. It's never been like this. Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening now. But I also said before, wait till you see what happens, because it's going to get worse. Look at the numbers of people that are heading up here. Harris, look at the numbers of people.
No, it's true, and they have now officially done what they think they can do. There's more to come. We don't know what that will look like. Before I let you go, just real quickly, most presidents, ex-presidents like yourself, do not weigh in at this level. Why did you feel like you needed to on this issue?
Well, you called me. I didn't call you, in all fairness. But the reason I weigh in is very simple.
You wrote the statement. last night. It was
Well,
pretty
I wrote
strong.
a statement. I put out a statement. But the reason I weigh in is very simple. They're destroying our country. Very simple. It can't get simpler than that. They are destroying our country, and they're going to destroy it with tax increases, the likes of which nobody has ever seen before, in order to accomplish the Green New Deal nonsense. They're destroying it with woke. When China looks at woke and they see the biggest problem we have is Dr. Seuss, in the meantime, they're building factories and trying to kill us in so many different ways. They laugh at us. They think we're so... Frankly, they think our country is stupid when they look at this, when our competitors look at what's going on in our country, taking down the statues to great heroes and so many other things. Now, I do it because I want to do what's right, and they are destroying our country.